Of course, we see a lot of people traveling around this time, and in fact, part of what we'll do for you is get you a sense of what some of these law enforcement operations look like at some of the main terminals and toll gates to get you a sense of whether or not we'll finally have an opportunity to tell a good story on the other side of this festive season insofar as some of these road fatalities are concerned. I'm afraid some concerns have already been raised in parts of the country, including Limpopo, if memory serves, where sadly there have already been a number of crashes. I know there was a midterm report that was released by the Transport Minister just last week in Barbara Creasy, who has noted that there is a downward trend finally in the number of fatalities, but unfortunately still some people losing their lives unnecessarily so on the roads around this time of the year. Meanwhile, thousands of travellers have been processed at Lebombo Border post, with snaking queues already forming there this morning. The Border Management Authority has beefed up operations to try and clamp down on criminality there. SABC News reporter Nonhlanhla Jele is monitoring the situation and joins us now live. And Nonhlanhla, not only is it busy where you are, it's also extremely hot, which I imagine is adding to the frustration.
Indeed, good morning to you, Ayanda, and the viewers at home. The sun is blazing hot out here. But as you can see, Mozambican nationals are adamant they want to get home before Christmas. Many of them have started making their way to the port of entry on foot, Ayanda, walking about 12 kilometers just to get their passport stamped and leaving their bags and their luggage in some of the transports that they're using. I'm just going to step out of shot quickly just so you can see what more is happening where we are. As you can see, Ayanda, they continue to make their way on foot, moving away from the transportation that they have been using all along to try and get to the port of entry. We are seeing that it looks as if either it's the BMA or the MEC of Community Safety also trying to make their way to the port of entry, of course, to try and ascertain as to what could the hold-up be. I mean, this congestion has been here even overnight. When we got here after 5 a.m. this morning, it looked like this. The numbers keep on increasing. The motorists, the vehicles, the passengers, people on foot keep on making their way. And of course, we do know that we're expecting the numbers to increase, especially today, later on into today, as people try to make their way home for Christmas. We tried speaking to some of them. Unfortunately, because the queue moves, they couldn't stay and speak to us. We are trying to understand what they get up to on Christmas Day, and some have been saying that they go to the beach, they visit some of their relatives. It seems as if we are blocking traffic, so we are just going to try and move out of shot so these cars, Ayanda, can try and move. But just on this side, some people have even resorted to taking a seat on the barricades, just resting a bit, because where they are going is quite far. And of course, Ayanda, once they get to the port of entry, they need to still wait to be processed at the processing centers. I mean, yesterday the BMA was anticipating around 30,000 people, Ayanda, that will need to cross this port of entry. And at this point, I wouldn't even be able to tell you or the viewers at home as to how many people we've seen since we've been here at 6 a.m. this morning. But people continue, Ayanda, to pass through and to try and make their way. And of course, as you can see, BMA officials on the ground together with police and traffic officials just trying to direct traffic, because where we are standing, Ayanda, it's coming from all directions. Also on the R35, which leads to the Mananga border gate, which leads to Eswatini, and of course also on the N4, people are trying to make their way to Mozambique. Can we talk to you, Baba? Kunjan? Are you going home?
It's go home.
You're going home. What do you get up to on Christmas?
It's not Christmas. It's right. Not right.
Yeah.
From here to Mowan.
Yeah. Mabalel. Yes.
8 to 6 to 9 is here to Mozambique.
Thank you. Ayanda, you hear this gentleman saying to us he's been stuck since p.m. last night trying to get to where he is. He arrived here at 9 a.m. this morning, and he has still not made his way, Ayanda, to the port of entry. As I mentioned, we are quite far as well because of the traffic, the heavy congestion that we continue to see on the N4 corridor. Of course, Ayanda, it's trucks, it's small vehicles, it's taxis, it's vans. People are moving their stuff, their goods, their luggages. Others come to buy groceries in South Africa. I mean, tomorrow is Christmas, Ayanda. Others others are taking advantage, of course, selling on the side of the road, putting up stalls just to ensure that they make a quick buck before people make it home on Christmas. Of course, we are on the ground to continue to monitor the situation. I think in our next crossing, Ayanda, we will have the BMA Commissioner, Dr. Mike Masiapato, who will just give us numbers, a picture in terms of how the port of entry is doing at this point, because I can definitely tell you it's a lot of people and traffic is still a lot. Ayanda?
We certainly look forward to that engagement, because the question, of course, will be what are they doing different this time around, given just how familiar those sites are at this time of the year. But Nonhlanhla Jele, live to us there from the Lebombo Border post for now. Thanks very much indeed. It's a story we'll certainly keep watching for you as it unfolds.